inductee is Peter Laskarzewski, class of 1973. Peter remains one of the most successful runners in college history, despite competing more than a half-century ago. His 10 career wins are short only of SMC Athletic Hall of Famer Whitney McBride, and he set 3 course records and still holds the program record for the 5.2-mile distance. In the years since he graduated, Peter has been an associate professor at the University of Cincinnati and a research assistant in pharmaceutical product development. After an early iteration of SMC cross country existed in the late 1950s, the program went dormant for a decade. In 1969, the Thin Clads, as they were known, returned in earnest and found immediate success. And the runners took great pride in being the only team on campus with a winning record each season between 1969 and 1972. They totaled a 21-12 mark during those years in an era when head-to-head meetings and tri meets were commonplace in the sport. Peter debuted by winning a tri meet with Johnson State and Plymouth State at 17 seconds, his first of 3 top 2 showings as a freshman. However, mono knocked him out for the remainder of the 1969 season, and shin splints forced him to the sidelines for all of fall 1970. Upon returning to health in 1971, Peter picked up where he left off, winning 4 races and taking 3 more second-place finishes. After claiming second in a dual meet with UVM, he won the final 3 races. Peter finished the fall by breaking the Johnson State course record by 6 seconds. Now a captain, Peter had no letdown as a senior, winning 5 times and setting 2 course records in victories at New England College and St. Anselm. He earned team MVP accolades as both a junior and senior, with the SMC Harriers featured in a Sports Illustrated story about the sport during his undergraduate years. Peter was also a member of the Nordic skiing squad and a club track athlete. As a senior, he was allotted with the Department of Athletics' Roger F. Kelleher Award as the top scholar athlete in the graduating class. After graduating with a bachelor's degree in mathematics in 1973, Peter won a graduate fellowship for advanced studies at the University of Kentucky, where he completed master's degrees in statistics and economics in 1977. Peter later completed a doctorate in biostatistics from the University of Cincinnati. By the early 1980s, he was working at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, later moving to associate professor of experimental medicine by the 1990s. Peter also spent 4 decades as a research scientist in pharmaceutical product development. Peter has been an active alumnus since graduating, contributing often to the Dr. Gilbert Grady Scholarship, named for the former chemistry professor. He sponsored a plaque dedicating the St. Edmunds 351 faculty office to his father. It is still there. Attended the St. Edmunds Hall dedication and guest lectured in 1983 upon visiting campus to see his nephew. Ladies and gentlemen, the St. Michael's College Athletic Hall of Fame is pleased to induct, from the class of 1973, Peter Laskarzewski. Peter still lives in the Midwest and unfortunately has been dealt with health challenges recently. In his absence tonight, we welcome his brother John, class of 1969, and his aforementioned nephew Jim, class of 1986, and also longtime field hockey coach and staff photographer. I welcome either or both to join us to share thoughts on behalf of the family.
Sitting here listening to everybody speaking, there's a theme that you'll hear again in this little tiny thing that I wrote. So thank you, Josh. I'm honored to be able to accept this on behalf of my Uncle Pete. Thank you, Hall of Fame Committee, and congratulations to all the other inductees. I've been involved in St. Mike's Athletics Department ever since I was a student there. Upon reflection, my involvement started back when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, when my Uncle Pete was running for St. Mike's. My uncle was wicked smart. There was quite an age difference between us, and we didn't have much in common besides our family name. As far as his running, I recall trips to the produce warehouse in Britain, Connecticut with my grandfather to buy oranges just off the truck. I recall slicing and bagging those oranges with my grandmother. There were long car rides to places unknown, where I was warmly greeted by the cross-country runners when I brought in those oranges. I don't recall anything about the racism. I do recall always being welcomed as a young family member. For many, St. Michael's is a family. For many, athletics at St. Michael's is an even closer family. On behalf of my Uncle Pete, my Uncle John, my grandparents, and myself, I thank this family for including Uncle Pete and our family in the distinguished history of this college. Cheers.